just review the order details. That was a hard-won fight. I shouldn't have asked you to go to such lengths for me. I feel as though I can really trust you. We forged the bond, you and I. Just so you know, I've decided to increase the amount of materials you can withdraw from here. All right, I'm ready to join the Chiral network.
Now displaying your current order grade.
Thanks to you, we can finally close the book on the mystery of the Headless Riders. Troubling rumors like that have a way of putting everyone on edge. Makes them want to stay inside all the more. Out here especially. Saw too many people cutting ties and keeping to themselves. Can't say any of us anticipated that the Riders would be ghost mechs, though. And those mechs have something to do with Higgs, too. Isn't that right? Well, now that we know the truth of the matter, we can come up with ways to combat them and their tactics. Then, maybe it'll feel like we're actually making some progress at long last. You know, got the makings of a real ghost hunter. I've shared with you some schematics for my favorite tools of the trade. A rocket box and a camo suit pattern. The rocket box fires MP warheads. It's a portable, versatile weapon that's perfect for dealing with all kinds of enemies. I'd heard a few stories about the red-clad warriors before you came through. That Higgs might be the one leading them came as quite the shock. He's the same bastard that's been distributing weapons all over the place, right? Trying to get everyone to take up arms and sow discord. Forming lasting connections is out of the question if we can't find common ground. The spread of weapons and violence is a lot more terrifying than any sort of paranormal activity, if you ask me. Ever since the death stranding, sightings of paranormal phenomena have been steadily increasing. Though a lot of these can be chalked up to simple misperception or misinformation. Among all these claims, tales of supernatural entities are especially common these days. And as a ghost hunter, I investigate the more promising reports to see if there's any truth to them. Unfortunately, it's not feasible for me to go out and do research right now. So I have to rely on others to do my fieldwork for me. You've done some wonderful work for me, Sam. So much so that I'd love it if you could continue. I intend to carry on with my research. There are a few things that I'm still pretty curious about. Maybe they're nothing more than baseless rumors, but if any seem promising, I'll contact you via the SSS. I hope I can count on you when the time comes. Good luck with your deliveries.
destination. Delivery route.
flying things over there. Gotcha. Okay, just a bit further now.
Security measures lifted. Weapons detected. Be advised that usage is restricted inside facility grounds. Access the delivery terminal.
Thanks for coming. I've been looking forward to this delivery. Now let's take a look. Thanks so much. You took excellent care of this cargo. My research is going well, and all that's left is to connect me to the chiral network. I'm ready.
Now displaying your current order grade.
I have something I'd like to give you. I hope it's to your liking. All hooked up at last. And wow, I was able to finish my analysis of the emu you brought me in an instant. Turns out it was absolutely riddled with parasitic chiral microbes. It would seem their presence was enough to alter the emu's temporal flow, which is probably why it didn't grow older when exposed to timefall. This all but confirms what the chronobiologist has been saying. Hosts for these chiral microbes are subject to the timeless influence of the beach. It's still unclear how this might be related to extinction entities, but it's a vital clue for solving the mystery of the Death Stranding. An extinction entity has the capacity to trigger the last stranding. And if that comes to pass, the end of humanity itself is assured. Higgs attempted to make use of one such entity back in the UCA, but I know you personally put a stop to his plans. Hartman told me everything about those events. It's anyone's guess what Higgs is trying to accomplish this time, but I believe in you. And that's why I'm giving you these. EX capture grenades are invaluable weapons that work by leveraging the temporal properties of parasitic chiromicrobes to great effect. In essence, they allow you to defeat weakened BTs in an instant by drastically destabilizing their intrinsic flow of time. But that's not all. These grenades can give you the means to summon your own BTs to attack other BTs. Should work on all larger specimens. I've prepared a few for immediate use. There's so much we can learn by studying chiral microbes, you know? They might even hold the answer to treating 21-minute syndromes like mine. Yes, I'm also a member of the 21-Minute Anxiety Association. The chronobiologist happens to be another member. We're sisters, in fact. Our mother belongs to the group, too. She's a hydrologist working out of Hartman's lab. Perhaps you've already met? We've all got similar conditions, but I'm not sure if genetics is a relevant factor. But whatever the cause of our syndromes may be, we are all trying to study the world and find answers in our own ways. Yes. Next time you're able to inflict significant damage on a large BT, try tossing an EX capture grenade into its mouth. Not only will you neutralize your foe, but you'll find it also leaves behind a milky white chiral crystal. I've taken to calling these objects BT crystals. If you see one, make sure you don't forget to pick it up. I say that because if you've got one on hand, you'll be able to use it the next time you encounter a large BT. The BT crystal will react with the tar and transform into a variant of the BT you captured. When activated, the crystal will summon a variant of the BT that spawned it, which will emerge from the depths of the tar. Ordinary large BTs will perceive this variant as a critical threat and proceed to attack on sight. In recent days, large BTs have been growing more active in the region to the south of this facility. It's possible that this too could be a consequence of Higgs's efforts. If you're headed that way, you had better be prepared for the worst. Though that might also be a good opportunity to give those EX capture grenades a try. I just know they'll prove effective. And if you're interested in some additional work, I'd also like you to take the emu you brought me to the animal shelter. The staff there want to look after it, and I don't have the proper facilities to give it a home here anyway. I've posted a sub-order for this request. There's no rush. You can pick it up from the delivery terminal here whenever you're ready. Thanks again for all your help. I'll probably be hitting you up again.
Sam, your next destination is the F5 East Distribution Center, which can be found near the southeast shore of the lake close by. I'm told one of the staff members there is an old acquaintance of yours. Anyway, a main order has been entered into the system. You can access the delivery terminal here to undertake it. That said, another request concerning the animal you rescued has also caught my eye. Alternatively, you can undertake this sub-order first if you wish. I'll leave it up to you, Sam.
Commencing route creation. Delivery route finalized.
Thanks for coming in this dismal weather. I'll review the status of orders right away. Now, this is something I didn't think I'd ever get back. Guess I was too quick to give up hope.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Shame the weather's still bad. Try to take shelter when you can.
Disengaging weapons restrictions.
Sam,
Yup.
One last question for you. This one's hard. Do you think you can solve it?
Sam,
Yup.
One last question for you. This one's hard. Do you think you can solve it? Yay! Congratulations!
Super cool.
Woo!
that one.
was Igor, did you? Anyway, guess I better process that cargo of yours. Perfect condition. That's what I'd expect from you. Where in the hell did this wayward thing turn up? Oh, shit. You just made my day. I don't even know how many times you've come to my All right, it's time for you to do you-know-what.
Now displaying your current order grade.
You're a real lifesaver, you know? I'm guessing you saw the Tar Lake out west of here, yeah? That's where the settlement known as Lakeside Fort Knott used to be. Whole place got wiped clean off the map by a void out. And since that day, the Tar's been eating away at this facility. Some weirdness with the currents, or at least that's what folks are saying. But the stuff you just brought me, I might just be able to keep the Tar corrosion at bay. Finally. I shared some data with you as well. Feast your eyes on these grenade launcher and cargo catapult schematics, both new and improved designs. You'll find they're a damn sight better than stuff you used to use back in the UCA. Recently, folks living here have been talking about this group of guys in red they saw creeping around. Got something to do with Higgs, more likely than not. One more thing that's had us worried these days. But now that you're here, I think we can all finally take a breath. Before I forget, got a new suit design to give you as a gift. One favored by a prepper back in the UCAs, you may recall. Try it on for size, why don't you? This is just how it went down back in the UCA. We think we were done for. Then the man who delivers shows up. Truth is, you're the reason I volunteered for the advanced expedition. The reason I was able to keep going. We figured if I did, I might get a chance to see you again. That BB pod you're carrying is different than I remember. Doesn't have my brother's keepsake attached anymore either. But hey, life's not just about things. Promise me you'll never forget Igor, Sam. He's gone, but he still feels so close, you know? Sorry. We should probably talk about work. An order with your name on it just came in. A request from a guy not far from here who spends his days fishing in the Tar. Come to think of it, I believe he's one of the precious few survivors of the Lakeside Fort Knott void out. It's filed under sub-orders on the delivery terminal here. Take a gander, see what you think. Right. I'll leave you to it. Keep on keeping on.
Fine work as always, Sam. Now come back to this ship and get some rest. Also, we've identified what may be a ghost mech outpost. I'd like you on standby. Your next order might be a dangerous one.
Order completed. Well done.
Commencing route creation. Delivery route finalized. Commencing route creation. Delivery route finalized.
Order accepted. Thank you.
Disengaging weapons restrictions.
Can anybody hear me? I can hear you.
That's the way.
Yeah!
Sensing any BTs nearby. Let's move quickly and grab the cargo. Sam, did you hear that? Sounded like a creature of some sort.
Delivery route finalized. Commencing route creation. Delivery route. creation. Delivery route finalized.
process.
You got it back for me. You really went out and recovered every last container. Right, give me just a moment to check the damage. Look at how flawless this is. You did a brilliant job. Decided to get a bundle done while you were at it. You're a real go-getter. Thank you so much, really. All right, use your Cupid to put me on the network.
displaying your current order grade.
So, you've hooked me up. Cheers for that. The network should help me continue my pursuit of the Lord. Yeah, him. I wager you've heard him sing out by the Tar Lake, haven't you? Private fella, rarely shows his face, but when he does appear again, it'll be a bloody catastrophe. On a scale of what happened to Lakeside Fort Knott. Catch my drift? But it's my hope that the cargo you've hauled over here will prevent anything like that. So, thanks again, Sam. Oh, and the data I shared with you is for a remote detonation grenade launcher. Humans, mechs, BTs, it's good against them all. Something tells me you're gonna need it real soon. The Lord of the Tar Lake, a monstrous fish, legendary round these parts. I went out with some mates of mine to try and finally catch the bastard. Which is how we learned we weren't dealing with a fish at all. It's a giant BT. In fact, it used to be a pair of giant BTs. And one of them was responsible for the void out that reduced Lakeside Fort Knott to a smoking crater. Our ship went down in the chaos. My mates went down with it. I was the only survivor. Couldn't tell you how I got away from the wreck. Don't remember a thing. I woke up in the company of those twins. They're the ones who saved my life. But don't think that's the end of the story. I can still hear the Lord singing. The other BT. It's still out there. And we've got to do whatever it takes to kill it. The cargo you brought me from our ship is just the thing we need to track it down. I'll be conducting a detailed investigation. And when I've got a lead on its whereabouts, I hope I can count on your help. Cheers for the help. Really, the Lord of the Tar Lake is a threat we can't afford to ignore. It's a catastrophe waiting to happen. So I will need your assistance in the future. It's not the kind of enemy I can take on alone. I'll update you when I know more. Until then, stay safe and stay in touch, mate.
Route creation. Delivery route finalized.
Sam.
Yeah. Nice.
Sam, based on our latest assessment, we know where the Ghost Mech base can be found. When you're ready, access the T3 Magellan's delivery terminal and accept this main order. I'll brief you on the details after that.
You're wearing my scarf. You're wearing my scarf.
You saw his face too, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
It was him, Neil Vanna, I'm certain of it. That clearly wasn't a memory of yours. Was it some thought of Lou's, lingering in the pod? Hold on. Lou was assigned BB-28 serial number 4 years ago. But Vanna died in a void out 11 years ago. It doesn't add up.
Meaning what? That it was his memory we just saw?
He and Lou must be connected. But how?
Sam, the data you secured for us at the weapons factory earlier has proven invaluable. With it, we were able to continue our investigation and succeed in locating fabricators with similar specifications. I'll brief you in depth as you review the map. Accept this main order from the delivery terminal in order to proceed. Okay, Sam. The facility we've identified is here. An abandoned factory south of the F5 East Distribution Center. There are operational fabricators inside. More than you had to deal with for the previous order, in fact. And to make matters worse, it seems these ones are configured to produce ghost mechs. Higgs is likely pulling the strings at this factory too. So with that in mind, your main objective is as follows. Eliminate both the ghost mech fabricators and any hostiles you encounter on site. In addition, each fabricator contains vital data that we need you to retrieve and deliver to the Magellan. By analyzing it, we hope to gain insight into Higgs's activities and future plans. Tarman will give you the device you'll need to extract the data before you head out. For now, consider the route you wish to take.
Commencing route creation. Delivery route finalized.
Sam, you'll need to...
Make sure it's in your possession whenever you attempt to access a ghost mech fabricator on site. If you have it with you, it'll automatically extract data from the fabricator terminal while simultaneously destroying it. Once you've disabled all fabricators, return to the Magellan with the device and submit it for processing. We'll handle the analysis on our end like last time. Remember that it contains special components that can't be reproduced by printers. Take every precaution to ensure you don't break it.
about this. Like something seriously big is waiting for us. Stay on your guard and proceed with caution. I see now. They build ghost mechs in this facility. Ghost mech fabricators appear to have been activated. This could get very bad very quickly. We need to destroy them as soon as possible.
one less fabricator to worry about. And we've secured its data, too. There should be 3 fabricators remaining. Keep the terminal expansion device safe and proceed to the next one. Fabricators left to disable. Let's move. One more fabricator to go. Fabricators have been rendered inoperable, and we've extracted invaluable data as well. We just need to mop up the remaining ghost mechs. You dropped some cargo packs. Ghost mechs and fabricators have been destroyed. All that remains is to take the ring terminal expansion device with the extracted data back to the DHV Magellan for processing.
Refreshing.
Commencing route creation. Delivery route.
It's good to have you back, Sam. Now, let's take a look at the cargo. No problems with this cargo. Tarman's analysis should proceed without issue. Thanks, Sam.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Our analysis of the data you extracted for us has yielded detailed records of deliveries to the factory. It seems both the materials used to manufacture those ghost mechs and the routes used to transport said materials were the same as those utilized by APAC. This indicates that APAC was likely involved in the production of these mechs.
Wait, could this possibly mean that Higgs and APAC are working together? We should watch what we say around the President.
We'll need to proceed carefully with our investigation. If APAC and the President did indeed have a hand in these activities, the security of our operations is entirely compromised. One more thing, Sam. Some of the data we received concerned ghost mechs outfitted with rocket launchers. I realize you didn't encounter this type within the factory, but it's possible Higgs may have already deployed them elsewhere. We need to prepare countermeasures for the DHV Magellan with all due haste. There's a specialist who can help us in South Fort Knott, just beyond this mountain. Putting F6 on the grid is one of our objectives anyway. For now, we'll make preparations in an effort to secure his cooperation. You should head to your private room and try to get some rest before your next order is ready. And Sam, good work.